This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ray Collins. Our top story: an investigation is now underway after a fatal overnight shooting outside a club in Manatee County. Our Marla Spence is outside the jail with the latest on this story. Marla, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ray. That is right. I'm live outside of the Manatee County Jail, where we're learning more information on a deadly shooting that occurred at a Manatee County club overnight. Now, what we now know about that deadly shooting is that witnesses say an unknown person fired at least 2 rounds of shots into the entranceway of that club, striking and killing who we know as Jarvis Ism. Now, EMS responded and transported him to a nearby hospital, and that's where he later died. I had a chance to stop by that club, and I spoke to a custodian cleaning up all that blood splatter from that overnight shooting, and she says that this is an unfortunate event that happened overnight, and she says she never thought that something like this would happen right at her workplace. I also spoke to a public information officer with the sheriff's department, and he tells me that that club is one location that has always getting calls in about high traffic, and also about calls coming in from nearby neighbors of people parking on their property. He says that this is one trouble area for Manatee County, and he says so far there is no suspect, but he says he's continuing to work on this investigation and to interview whoever knows more on this deadly shooting. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Marla Spence, live in northern Manatee County. The state is trying to find ways to ease traffic congestion around Bradenton and Palmetto. Last night, FDOT showed off 11 different ideas to improve circulation around the DeSoto and Green Bridge area. The short-term solutions include making signal modifications and relocating some of the left turns at the main intersections. Longer-term FDOT solutions include a new bridge over the river and an elevated thruway.
We need that public comment because that's an important factor in determining which alternatives we can move forward and study further.
It's wonderful. I'm so glad to see so many people turning out to understand what the alternatives are. We're very early in the process, the planning, but this is the appropriate time for people to have input.
So next up, FDOT will evaluate public reaction. They say the short-term solutions could take about a year, and the long-term solutions could take about 10 years. You may recall a few months ago when Manatee County took down a Confederate memorial and it broke into 2 pieces. Well, now they're learning how much it's going to cost to repair it. According to the Bradenton Herald, repairing the statue is going to cost nearly 3 times the amount it took to remove it. The initial removal cost was about $13,000. Repairing the statue, about $41,000. The monument is currently in storage. Bradenton Area State Senator Bill Galvano wants to move it to the Gamble Plantation Historic State Park in Ellington. All right, well, the cold weather now out of the way. A nice weekend coming this way, Josh.
Exactly, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. You know, maybe some people want the seasonable weather. From up north, you know, because that's like the holiday spirit, you know, dreaming of a white Christmas and all that. We'll take the temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, lower 80s. So right now we are average. This is our average high for this time of the year, December 15th. 73 degrees is our current temperature. And I believe this will probably be our high of the day. Why? Well, we'll have the south winds, but the south winds will eventually become southwest. And when you have winds off the Gulf of Mexico, that tends to be a little bit cooler than winds coming off the land. So 73 degrees, a few clouds out there, and we're going to have a few passing clouds today, but I think things are going to clear out. We have a cool front coming down from the north, and as far as the rest of the evening, looks like we'll have a little bit more clear conditions, and then we're going to have an absolutely gorgeous weekend, and I'll have all the details on that when I return.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Josh. We'll talk about awkward. After bashing the FBI, President Trump went to the National Training Academy today to speak to recent graduates. ABC's Lana Zak has the story.
President Trump spoke before local and foreign law enforcement officials at various agencies at the FBI National Academy graduation today.
The President of the United States has your back 100%.
But on his way to Quantico, the president repeated his critiques of the FBI.
Well, it's a shame what's happened with the FBI, but We're going to rebuild the FBI. It'll be bigger and better than ever. The level of anger at what they've been witnessing with respect to the FBI is certainly very sad.
The president referencing the anger by many Republicans following revelations that two former members of special counsel Robert Mueller's team exchanged text messages that, according to President Trump's lawyers, show a conflict of interest. On the day after the Republican primary debate, FBI attorney Lisa Page wrote, "God, Trump is a loathsome human." And FBI agent Peter Strzok texted, "OMG, he's an idiot." Special counsel Mueller removed Strzok from his team immediately upon learning of the messages. Page was already gone, only on Mueller's team for a brief period. But the president's criticisms of the agency is a common theme for his first year, from the firing of James Comey to his tweet earlier this month arguing that the FBI is in tatters. It's a characterization that the president's own FBI director, Christopher Wray, disputes.
The FBI that I see is respected and appreciated by our partners in federal, state, and local law enforcement, in the intelligence community, by our foreign counterparts.
The president seemed to receive his greatest line of applause when he argued for the death penalty for anyone that killed a police officer. Still, what we saw today were two very different messages to law enforcement from the president, just moments apart. Lana Zak, ABC News, Washington.
All right, let's talk about Wall Street now. We join Jeff Stern. And Jeff, of course, the Fed raised rates again this week. How has the markets responded today to that?
That is true, Ray. They went up 0.25%. 1.5 is where they are, and that should be for the rest of the year, Janet Yellen's last raise. The markets have been positive. Dow 1.25 so far for the week. NASDAQ's trading about 0.5% in the positive. S&P positive, but pretty much flat. We know the 10-year Treasury is still trading around that 2.35%. The big news of the week is probably Disney offering to buy Fox. Woke up this morning, the futures were positive. Let's see if they can maintain that. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, 24,650. Up, look at that, 140 points, over 0.5%. NASDAQ's positive, 6,908, up 51 points, 0.75%, while the S&P positive as well by up over 0.75%, 2,671, up almost 20 points. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I heard you mention, of course, Disney's purchase of Fox for $52 billion in stock, an amazing number right there. A lot of talk about the movies that'll be happening, but also expanding sports as well, right, Jeff?
That is correct, Ray. You've definitely done your research. As we know, ESPN is a huge part of Disney, and at the same time losing customers because of viewers, subscribers, you know, cutting the cords. They've had to cut staff over at ESPN. But as part of the deal with Fox, 22 regional sports networks comes with it. The deal, right, is valued at $52 billion, which includes 13.7 of debt. You're actually, if you own Fox, you're going to receive 0.274 shares of Disney and keep your Fox shares, so not too bad. They know that on demand is the way to go, and people really don't want to be watching commercials, but sports they still want to watch live. So ESPN is a national sports. With the Fox purchase, they're going to receive, like I mentioned, 22 regional networks, which equals half of the baseball teams, 17 out of 30 NBA teams, 12 out of 30 NHL teams. Really impressive. ESPN, we know, has been struggling. Believe it or not, 2010, they had about 100 million viewers, subscribers. As of September, they were down to 88 million, still a big number. And ESPN has been been the leader for Disney as far as revenue, even more so than their movies and their theme parks. Disney so far is trading around $111, up about 6.5% for the year, so not too impressive with the big gains we've seen this year, but keep your eyes on Disney, and I think they know what they're doing, Ray.
They've done well so far. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Have a good weekend.
Enjoy yours.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, a cardiologist explains why stress from the holidays can be tough on your ticker. And it isn't just moms who gain weight with newborns. We'll explain why dads may also put on some weight.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Make your holiday season extraordinary with a visit to your local Alfa Romeo dealer. Experience affordable Italian-crafted luxury and world-class performance, like our 2018 Giulia, just announced as the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. MSRP starting at $37,995, or drive home in the 2018 Stelvio SUV. MSRP starting at just $41,995. Premium comfort and excellent handling, even in the most challenging conditions. Now's the time to shift into season and reward yourself this holiday. Come in and see us today.
Come out and enjoy a taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Philippi Estate Park on 41 in Sarasota. Everyone is invited. Admission is just $5 for adults. Children are free and free parking. See the world-famous Belunak, BMX trick stars, and more. Delicious gourmet kosher foods, music, and a 4-ton snow slide. Fun for the entire family. A taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 at Philippi Estate Park.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi. John will be back next week. But it is Friday. We finally made it to the weekend, and we're starting off this weekend with very nice temperatures. Right now it's 73 in Sarasota, 77 for you in Northport. So extremely nice and actually above average at some locations. The average for a high this time of the year is 73. Now, as far as the radar goes, we did have some shower activity move into the Suncoast from the Gulf of Mexico earlier this morning. Right now, most of the activity is up to the north where the cold front is, or we'll call it a cool front. Not much cold air behind it, but it looks like the showers will probably wrap up and we'll just be left with a mix of clouds and sun for the rest of the afternoon. Pleasant weekend is in store for us, and as we get into next week, the warm and mild trend continues, so very nice conditions. Here's this cool front I was talking about just to our north. It's going to slide southward as we go through the afternoon and the evening hours, and that will help to clear out the clouds that we're experiencing right now, and everything will be extremely nice on Saturday if you like sunshine. So we're calling for mostly sunny skies for our Saturday and also our Sunday as well. Nothing to show you here. No rain in the forecast. What's not so nice is what's happening up here in the upper Midwest and Northeast. They're stuck in a trough. The jet stream buckling and allowing all that cold air to come out of Canada and sock them with temperatures like this. 29 in Chicago, 28 in Detroit, 23 in Toronto right now. So I suggest you call your friends up to the north and harass them, because right now we're in the mid to upper 70s. I'm sure they'll love that. Anyway, as far as your boating forecast today, expect the southwesterly wind at 10 knots, seas 2 feet with a light chop. And for the beach today, 73 degrees. You can't beat that. Nice walk along the beach. As far as your tides go, the low tide will be at 4:31 this afternoon, and sunset will be at 5:38. Here's your high today, which is really our current temperature right now. We could climb maybe up to 74, but basically we're going to be in the mid-70s for highs today. But it just gets better as we go through the next several days. 75 tomorrow, 80 on Sunday, and 81 next Monday. Looking pretty good, Ray. Looking pretty good.
Looks perfect. Thank you, Josh. The holiday season usually means laughter and cheer, but for some, it also means stress and plenty of it. According to cardiologists, stress can lead to a serious condition known as holiday heart syndrome. The side effects include irregular heartbeat, which can cause a clot to form and possibly lead to a stroke. For some, the condition is temporary, but others might need to take extra steps to get their heart rate back to normal.
Holiday heart syndrome is when you drink too much alcohol and then you go into this irregular heart rhythm called atrial fibrillation. Atrial fibrillation is when the top part of the heart doesn't beat in conjunction with the bottom part of the heart.
Dr. Cho says that AFib is usually brought on from excessive binge drinking. The most common symptom is heart palpitations. People with AFib often say feels like their heart is jumping right out of their chests. Well, even though all of us gain weight as we age, new research has found that becoming a father is related to modest weight gain as well. A study analyzed men's body mass index over time. However, that weight gain doesn't mean they are fat. It might mean that muscle from being more active. With newborn researchers, researchers take away for dads, pay more attention to what you eat and how much you exercise rather than what your scale says as well. Speaking of eating, it is time for lunch, and Chef Judy joins us now from a great spot at the Seafood Shack along the Intercoastal in Cortez. Judy?
It could not be a more beautiful day to be sitting outside in this perfect spot. The Seafood Shack has been here a long time, but make no mistake, there is some new creative dishes on the menu. You're going to get to meet the chef and find out the display I have right here. You'll see all your all-time favorites, but many new dishes as well. And there's plenty of outdoor seating. I even found out they just bought a boat that they are refitting that they're going to be able to use to do their own fishing charters, so you'll be able to catch your fish and bring it in and they'll cook it for me. So stay with us throughout the hour as we come to you from the Seafood Shack right here in Cortez.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
If high performance art is what you're into, look no further than Sunset Fiat of Sarasota. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. No matter what your passion is, there's a Fiat for everyone. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Big Finish event. Going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, Contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Well, we're back with Marcia Panucci, and we have Sasha here today.
Yes, isn't she beautiful? You know, Sasha is 8.5 years young, and she's just full of love, Josh. And the interesting thing about Sasha is that she has been trained, actually mostly by herself, to go with a handler and go to assisted living facilities.
Really?
She is not rated as a service dog, however, or a therapy dog, but that's exactly what she does, is she gives loving kisses and service to the wonderful residents at these facilities, and she loves every minute of it. She just can't wait to get there and do her thing. She's just a wonderful, energetic, but very, very loving and steady type of a dog. You can see this, and I don't know if our cameras can pick it up. She has the most gorgeous blue eyes. She's got,
I see that.
Yeah, you know, Paul Newman had nothing on her. They're absolutely gorgeous. And she loves to ride in cars, Josh. Absolutely loves to take those rides, and occasionally the window will be opened and she lets that air just kind of come into her face. And look at this. I mean, she is just totally nonplussed by our cameras. She's not worried about them.
She seems very gentle, very relaxed.
Yes, and she's a kisser. If you want to kiss her, here's your kisser.
She kissed my hand taking these treats.
Well, she kind of responds to food just like most of them do.
I have a new friend, definitely.
Yes. She does have a little bit of a skin condition, and it is not unlikely that these dogs, which are a husky, possibly Malamute mix, we don't know the true DNA, but this is what we start to see coming out of them, do have skin conditions. Easy to take care of, very easy. She just gets a medicated bath. So she loves her bath. She loves to be fluffed and fussed over.
But her coat is very thick. I'm sure the people up in the north where we're from in Chicago would love this coat right now.
Yeah, you and I'd be walking her down the lakefront right now. But she does beautifully here in Florida. She does great in the weather here. And she is looking for a new home. Unfortunately, her previous owner got very, very ill and could no longer take care of her. And that's the sad part when you've had a dog for all of the years that we have had Sasha here, and then you have to give her up. But she is a great dog. She's looking for a great home, and she's presented today by the Bishop's Animal Shelter. And as you know, all you simply have to do is call 941-792-2863. You tell them that you're interested in Sasha. They'll have you fill out an application, come in for an interview, and then they'll bring Sasha out and she'll say, wonder if I'd like to go home with this couple.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Marcia, for bringing Sasha on, and I hope Sasha can get a new home.
Yeah, she's perfect for
the holiday
Christmas
season.
Perfect.
Well, guess who's starring in The Taste of Hanukkah on Sunday? Linda Carson has all the details.
Guess who's starring in The Taste of Hanukkah on Sunday? Bello, the Daredevil Clown.
We also bring in the BMX trick stars to perform with their bicycles, all kinds of shows and activities. We are bringing a snow slide, which is very popular. It's a huge, huge 4-ton of snow.
And there'll be kosher caterers.
There is no kosher place for people who keep kosher to go out and eat. So once a year, Michael's Anise, Munchies 420, and other vendors will prepare kosher food.
Broadway star and hometown favorite Ann Morrison will be at the Reserve on Monday, December 18th at 7 p.m. in a show called Season's Greetings from the Druids.
Well, we go back from winter solstice, we look at Mark Twain's, and then interwoven with specialty numbers that are hilarious.
The Christmas movie Elf will be shown at Riverwalk in Bradenton starting at 6 p.m. Friday night, and also at Ringling Museum. At Ringling, you get in the Christmas mood as soon as you enter.
We have a lot of fun activities for the children, including Christmas card making, cookie decorating, snowflake cutting, even an Etch-a-Sketch station.
And the Nutcracker is coming to town, Sarasota style.
Yeah, you've seen the Nutcracker, but here at the Van Wezel this weekend, the Sarasota Ballet presents John Ringling's Nutcracker. It's the old Nutcracker with a new circus twist.
It's a combination of the traditional Nutcracker, and it's also telling the story of John and Mabel Ringling and the circus in Sarasota.
Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, lots of choices. A beautiful day to have lunch along the water. Chef Judy has checked the forecast. She is now at the Seafood Shack along the Intercoastal in Cortez. Great day, Judy.
Oh, Ray, it is so gorgeous, I got to tell you. And I'm really happy because I'm here with an old friend, Lisa Kubik, and you're going to give us the history of this Seafood Shack.
I would love to. And welcome to Cortez today on this beautiful Chamber of Commerce day.
Nice job on the weather.
I know, it's just beautiful today. But anyone who's from the area knows about the Seafood Shack. It's been here for over 45 years. So it was built in '71 as a marina, and then the restaurant was added. 3 years ago, Van Dyke Group of Companies took over the Seafood Shack and started its restoration. And we have just tried the best that we can to bring it back to its former glory, but also while maintaining the old Florida feel that it had.
And that's what I really feel here.
Absolutely.
So aside from the food, which we're going to get to in a minute, let's talk about things like hours of operation, exciting things people might find here. I saw a sign about Rum Mondays.
Yes, Rum Day Monday. And we love Rum Day Mondays because Mondays can be tough. So on Mondays, all of our rum drinks are half price. And we have the whole 6-acre waterfront property here, so there's a lot more to do too. There's the restaurant, which has the outdoor patio. We also have a banquet space upstairs with beautiful views of the water. And we also have a 68-slip marina. So we love it when our guests come by boat. It's very easy to dock and dine here.
Well, I'm going to certainly plan on finding somebody with a boat so I can dock and dine, but go nowhere. We're coming back with Chef, and we'll find out about all this deliciousness and fresh seafood in just a few minutes.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
Make your holiday season extraordinary with a visit to your local Alfa Romeo dealer. Experience affordable Italian-crafted luxury and world-class performance, like our 2018 Giulia, just announced as the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. MSRP starting at $37,995, or drive home in the 2018 Stelvio SUV. MSRP starting at just $41,995. Premium comfort and excellent handling, even in the most challenging conditions. Now's the time to shift into season and reward yourself this holiday. Come in and see us today.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
It's time to take a road trip.
Alabama's got 100 road trips, and some will take you back in time to the Civil Rights Movement or even the Civil War. You boys play nice now. From Helen Keller to Hamlet. Check out these big guns. We're talking the USS Alabama. Alabama's got 100 road trips. Plan yours at alabama.travel.
Which one you gonna take?
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Congressional leaders are hoping to unveil the final text of a compromise tax reform bill, but several surprise twists have surfaced that could hurt plans of the bill being passed. For one, Florida Senator Marco Rubio now says he wants a bigger child tax credit to be included, otherwise he won't support the plan. Also, Senator Bob Corker has already said he doesn't like the plan's effect on the deficit, and two other Republican senators also have health issues that could hamper them from making or taking part in the already razor-thin vote expected. Senators John McCain and Thad Cochran of Mississippi have been away from Capitol Hill all week with their health issues. So with a narrow 52-48 majority in the Senate, Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes and still pass the bill along party lines. Here's some more now about what is bugging Marco Rubio. He wants a $2,000 per child credit for low-income families.
I remain surprised that there is not more consensus to support the reality that we need to do more to help working people in this country.
Senator Rubio's demand raises additional questions about how Republicans will pay for tax reform. Earlier this week, a federal judge in Washington blocked parts of President Trump's transgender military ban. The controversy began last summer when the president tweeted that transgenders would no longer be allowed to serve in the military. We talked to a local transgender person this morning, Jamie G., and got her reaction to the judge's ruling.
We are supportive of our country, that we're willing to die for our country, you know. And so I was very, depressed when all of a sudden, because there's so many more of us than people don't realize that are here, and now it's finally all coming out. So I'm glad that they're to hear that they are in the military. You know, it's like they're serving our country. They're taking the bullet if they have to.
Now, G transitioned 8 years ago, and she says she is optimistic for what this week's ruling means to the transgender community.
I'm really proud that finally they can serve our country and be the person they need to be, and be happy, And so, yeah, I was so excited when I saw it. It was like, yeah, okay.
Well, transgenders are able to enlist. They do have to pass certain medical tests first. New developments now for the Charlottesville man accused of driving his car into a crowd of counter-protesters last August in Virginia. James Field's second-degree murder charge has now been upgraded to first-degree murder. He's accused of striking and killing a 32-year-old paralegal and injuring dozens of others. During Field's preliminary hearing yesterday, tensions flared again on the streets of Charlottesville as some members of the Ku Klux Klan were in town for the hearing.
I feel like we should have had this resolved, and the fact that we haven't is why I'm taking a stand to push back against it, because I think when people don't step up is when it becomes a problem.
Charlottesville denied a permit request from Unite the Right. The rally organizer, Jason Kessler, he applied earlier this week, but he was turned down. He had wanted to host another rally on the anniversary of that violent clash. New at noon, a grand jury report showed Penn State officials showed a shocking apathy to the dangers of excessive drinking. This in the wake of a 19-year-old fraternity brother's death earlier this year. Reporter Elizabeth Herr has the latest details as backlash continues to grow at fraternities across the country over hazing concerns.
The alleged hazing death of Penn State fraternity pledge Tim Piazza prompted a grand jury investigation on hazing and excessive alcohol consumption at the university's fraternities. That investigation now completed.
There is no system. There was no system.
Prosecutors also revealing the panel's recommendations.
Cure the currently deficient hazing law. Hazing right now is only a misdemeanor, and that's just not sufficient.
Piazza died in February as he pledged Beta Theta Pi. In all, 26 of Piazza's former fraternity brothers have now been charged, many facing allegations from reckless endangerment to manslaughter. Police say the students led investigators to believe a security camera in the fraternity's basement wasn't working, but instead, members of the fraternity allegedly deleted that video. According to prosecutors, the now recovered video shows the brothers giving Piazza 18 drinks in less than 90 minutes.
Talk to your children. Tell them not to get involved in this nonsense.
A crackdown on college Greek life growing across the country. This morning, an alleged hazing incident at the University of Houston led to a criminal indictment against an entire fraternity. Last month, Texas State University suspended all frat and sorority activities after a student was found dead after attending a fraternity event. And Florida State suspended its Pi Kappa Phi branch after a pledge was found dead following a night of partying. Penn State, in the meantime, permanently banned Piazza's fraternity back in March. And the grand jury report today also called on the university to regulate drinking rather than hold a fraternity council responsible. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
All right, Josh and for John, we began the week as low as 40 degrees. Now we're ending with the Sunday up toward 80 now.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, what a roller coaster ride it's been over the last few days. Literally, what a difference a day makes, right? I mean, the other day we were topping out in the low 60s. Now we're in the low 70s. And this is average for this time of the year, 73 degrees here in Sarasota. Bradenton, 73 as well, and 69 in Venice. We have a few clouds out there. There's a cold front coming down from the north. Really, we'll call it a cool front. Doesn't have a lot of cold air behind it. But this will help clear out the skies as we get into tomorrow, and we're going to have a beautiful weekend with highs topping out in the upper 70s, lower 80s. But what about next week? Will we continue on this warm trend, or will the bottom drop out eventually? We'll let you know in a few minutes.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, Josh. Happening in Florida, new developments in a cow abuse story. That's right, a cow abuse story out of South Florida. 3 men have been arrested at a dairy farm almost 3 months since a viral video was released. The Animal Recovery Mission, or ARM, says 3 of its investigators went undercover for 2.5 months at MacArthur Farms and witnessed what it calls some of the most horrific abuse cases they've ever seen. ARM claims that workers used blow torches on the cows, stabbed them with spears, and tortured pregnant cows and calves.
We are still conducting further investigation. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of video that has been supplied to us that we have not been able to go through. We have to go through that minute by minute, so this case is ongoing.
Investigators say there's a warrant out for the arrest of a 4th person.
Ma'am, come on, wake up. Please, wake up, please, guys. Ma'am, here, hold on. Let's take her out.
FHP released this video that shows a trooper saving the life of a crash victim in Southwest Florida. The car had drifted off I-75 late Wednesday night near Naples. The trooper found a woman in her car that was unresponsive. He broke through her window and began giving her CPR right there. He saved her life, but then she was placed under arrest for driving under the influence, her 3rd violation in the past 10 years. This Osprey woman being charged with manslaughter for knowingly providing a man with opioids that later contributed to his death. Sarasota County Sheriff deputies arrested Lisa Ross yesterday, and she remains in jail without bond. This is the 2nd time the sheriff's office charged somebody with manslaughter related to an overdose. For the latest on local and breaking news, check out our new app. Go to the App Store and go to WWSB or My Suncoast. This is for iPhone users. Android users will have the updates sent automatically. Happening now, dozens of gingerbread houses are on display at the Westfield Sarasota Square Mall. It's an annual event hosted by the Girl Scouts of Gulf Coast, Florida. Each year, sponsors and students submit gingerbread houses to be judged by folks at the festival. All proceeds go back to the Girl Scouts. Organizers say the Girl Scouts look forward to this event all year long.
Some people take this very seriously and they want their house to be perfect. So I've heard people working on them for 4 days. So we're looking at over 160 gingerbread houses. So more than the festival's ever had in years past. So we're breaking records over here.
The event is going on until Sunday at the Sarasota Square Mall at Beneva and 41. 3,000 people are expected to enjoy the event this year. Time to enjoy lunch again with Judy. Chef Judy is at the Seafood Shack on the Intercoastal in Cortez. Hey, Judy.
Well, that's right, and I'm here with Chef Gerard, and Gerard, this looks amazing, really uptown cuisine. So let's get started with this version of macaroni and cheese.
Okay, so instead of having your plain old mac and cheese, we've got crawfish mac and cheese with fresh Gouda, Swiss, and white cheddar.
I call that for my lunch.
Over here we have the Cortez Cobb salads, traditional Cobb, except we've added shrimp and crawfish on top with a little fried onions on top.
I love the idea of the crawfish. Really creative twist.
Those are the local clams, Joe Island clams. They are superb. They're awesome. Just serve with a little bit of drawn butter, and as they are.
As they should be. I'm a purist from Boston, so I agree. Now, this is really a traditional nod to New Orleans on your shrimp.
Correct. Yeah. So we did our play on shrimp and grits. There should be no instant grits ever in anybody's meal, so we do the fresh stone ground grits, and then our little Creole spin with the Holy Trinity and Parmesan cheese on top.
And I see those andouille sausage.
That's right, that's right.
Now, this sandwich looks so creative and so yummy. Tell us about it.
So that's our play on a BLT. This is now with crawfish. Yet again, we've got fried green tomatoes, and then you lettuce and tomato on the bun.
And now, this is not your traditional nachos. I'm telling you. Tell me about the seafood nachos.
So those are fresh blue crab meat on top with fresh queso fresco, a little bit more melted cheese on top, and then pico de gallo over it.
Do you mind if I tell you that I did cheat and try it, and the sauce is so good? Now, fish tacos, totally trending, totally on point. Tell us about yours.
So these are one of our star dishes. It's our play, again, on just your average fish taco. We did a hard shell. You've got always local fish. It does change. In this case, it's triggerfish. And then served with a nice pico de gallo and Baja sauce on top.
Now, this is exciting because you were very involved with Edible Sarasota and the trash fish and sustainability. Let's talk about fish collars.
So fish collars, you know, I have a lot of people say to me, well, I've been throwing those away for 35 years.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that anymore. You know, now we've got to utilize every part of the fish, and that's what we do here at the Seafood Shack. You know, we try to utilize everything, and this is by far probably one of the best parts of the fish.
I totally agree. So how do you prepare, how do you cook a fish collar?
So a fish collar, you would obviously fillet it out, and then you would marinate it for a few hours. In this case, we roast them up, top them off with a fresh chili sauce on top, serve it with Louisiana-style dirty rice, and then our fresh roasted vegetables.
And this is cobia today?
Cobia, correct.
So that also changes as well?
It will, yeah. Usually it's between cobia or snapper or even grouper.
Well, it all sounds good. Now, for you traditionalists, of course they have the delicious fried grouper sandwich and fried seafood platter, but there's, as you can see, there's so much more of freshness and creativity. But don't go away yet. I'm coming back, and there's a hint of homemade pie.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
If high performance art is what you're into, look no further than Sunset Fiat of Sarasota. For maximum performance, check out the all-new Fiat Spider. You'll flip over the superior handling and capability. Or follow roads less traveled in the Fiat 500X. No matter what your passion is, there's a Fiat for everyone. Prices starting as low as $13,999 during the Big Finish event. Going on now at Sunset Fiat of Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Welcome back. So good to see you on this Friday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today, and we're looking at a beautiful temperature of 73 degrees with partly cloudy skies at this time, dew point at 63, and winds coming out of the south at 14 miles per hour. Winds in general as we go through the rest of the afternoon about 5 to 10, maybe 13 miles per hour. But I just want to give you a little meteorology one-on-one here, because this is what is making our temperatures so warm. We have the south winds, but the land heats up faster than the water does. So anytime you have winds that come across the land, say an easterly wind, a southeasterly wind, or even a south wind, well, our temperatures are going to be warmer. But when we have a southwesterly wind or westerly wind, now it still can be warm, but it won't be as warm because, again, the land heats up faster than the water does. However, at night, the opposite occurs. Like tonight, we're going to have more of a westerly wind. That's going to keep things a little bit warmer. The land will cool down faster than the water. So with the westerly wind, we're going to experience temperatures for lows in the mid to upper 50s tonight, and tomorrow night in the 60s. As far as our radar goes, well, there's a few showers out here in the Gulf of Mexico, more so up to the north where there's a boundary. This boundary is going to slowly sag southward as we go through the afternoon and evening hours, and then eventually clear out these clouds. But as far as shower activity goes, we had some showers, hit or miss showers earlier today. Those, I think, have wound down, and we're going to just be left with sun and cloud mix for the rest of the day. A pleasant weekend is in store for us, and then warm and mild conditions will continue into next week. So it doesn't look like anytime soon we're going to have chilly temperatures return to the area. I'm sure a lot of people are happy about that. So again, area of high pressure anchored to the southeast of Florida. The wrap-around clockwise flow bringing up those southerly winds. Eventually they'll become southwest, and that's going to keep our temperatures around the low to mid 70s for today. However, once this front passes us by and this next high pressure system behind it settles in, those winds are going to be coming in from the east and southeast. And since you're experienced with meteorology now, you know that we're going to have warmer conditions over the weekend and into next week. As far as the big picture, some chilly air up to the north. They're dealing with temperatures in the teens in some locations there here in the northeast. But for us, no way. We're going to enjoy these temperatures in the low to mid 70s today. Tomorrow, mid 70s, mid to upper 70s actually. And then Sunday and next Monday and next Tuesday, I think people will enjoy temperatures in the low 80s and the mostly sunny skies. And this trend looks to continue for several days.
All right, good to hear. Thank you, Josh. You know, one of the biggest issues in the news this week affects nearly all of us, but very few of us know what net neutrality actually means. Reporter Lori Siegel has some answers for us.
What is net neutrality? It has nothing to do with a volleyball or a tennis court. The net refers to the internet, something that's become as necessary as water and power for most of us. The neutrality part is about keeping the net the way it is today. It's a set of rules that went into effect in 2015 to prevent speed traps on the information superhighway. In other words, speeding up access to some sites and slowing down access to others. Or blocking certain sites entirely. So, are these rules a bad thing? It depends on who you ask. The companies that deliver your internet like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T have spent millions in lobbying money to get rid of net neutrality, arguing that having the government micromanage their business is not good for them or their consumers. On the other side are internet giants like Facebook and Google, streaming services like Netflix, and former President Obama. They all argue the internet is a public good and should be regulated like one. They also say that companies that own the pipelines could play favorites. For example, a content provider like Netflix is in direct competition with Comcast, which owns NBC Universal and controls access to the internet for over 20 million customers. You can imagine a scenario where NBC would want to speed up streams of its shows and slow down streams of its rival, Netflix. Now, Netflix can afford to pay for the fast lane. It's worth more than $70 billion. But the next Netflix, some awesome startup, can't.
A little clearer, right? That music didn't help, did it? In response to the FCC ruling, the New York Attorney General announced he will lead a multi-state lawsuit to block this rollback of net neutrality. The Washington state governor also proposed that his state require internet providers be certified in meeting net neutrality standards. Now, speaking of the internet, don't be surprised to see more ads and Facebook videos. That, according to a blog post published by Facebook. Facebook also said ads that pop up mid-video will only be included in videos that last at least 3 minutes. News feed rankings are changing too to make it easier for content creators to reach their audiences. Many of the updates are expected to take place sometime next year. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have set a date. We'll tell you when the next royal wedding is set to happen when we come back.
Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
And here we are with some fresh dessert. Look how creative this is. This is our local Dacon Dairy chocolate milk. If you've never had their chocolate milk, it is simply to live for with a homemade chocolate chip cookie. I love the idea. And to know me is to know that pie is my favorite dessert in the world. So every day they have 1 or 2 different homemade pies. This is a strawberry crumb pie, freshly baked, and I am the lucky one to tuck into this one. So it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. This is the time of the year to be spending time with your family. Get away from a little bit of shopping and take some time to come out and enjoy Cortez in the area and the Seafood Shack. I hope you have a great weekend. I know I'm off to a good start.
Not bad at all. Way to go, Chef Judy. Hey, Sony is still in the Michael Jackson business. Every year, the late king of pop still generates more than 1 million track downloads, and fans buy more than 500,000 Jackson albums. Now his estate and Sony have extended their partnership, which brings in hundreds of millions of dollars a year annually. Prince Henry of Wales and his fiancée Meghan Markle will marry on May 19th. Kensington Palace made the announcement today over Twitter. It'll be held at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. Back in this area and happening tonight, the Newtown community is holding its annual tree lighting celebration to help kick off the holiday season. This is the second year they've had it at the Fred Atkins Park there, right there, 6 p.m. just off of 301. And Josh, they couldn't have planned better weather for this event tonight.
Exactly. You mean they? You mean all of us? Yeah, the whole weather department.
Right.
Yeah, I think we got a good one in our forecast over the weekend.
Thanks for filling in.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to be here.
Yep, good having you here. John Scalzi back on Monday. We'll see you again Monday. Good Morning Suncoast. Have a good weekend, folks.